everyone, Susie here, and I thought I'd just do a quick plant room tour. It's the start of February, so the beginning of this video will be just a tour of my setup, and then the second part will be a tour of the plants I have growing. My plant room is located in my garage, so it's kind of like a controlled chaos. It is a bit messy, but it works for me. I'm working in kind of a smallish area. I do have a fan, and that's just to keep the air circulating in here. I'll probably get another one. It also helps create stronger plants and good air circulation. I have a fridge in my garage, which helps with cold stratification, along with, beverages and whatnot. Here is just a collection of lots of containers that I use, trays, other things. This right here, I have a grow lights down on that level. It's just good for seed starting, because once the plants get a little bit big, it'll be too small in there, or it can keep shorter varieties of what I have done, and also other stuff. Over here I have water boiling. This is where I have a cooktop. I boil water to help sterilize my potting mix, which I'm gonna have to, one moment while I get this. Okay, and so the reason why I use boiling water is it's to sterilize my potting mix. Whether there's any bacteria in there, I already use a sterilized potting mix, but it just helps out a little bit more, along with maybe fungus gnat eggs. So on that, I also use the yellow sticky tape here to help control them. I do have some. I'm not 100% free, but this has helped out a lot, along with using mosquito bits, so that's also helped out. This is just the station where I do a lot of my potting up, my seed starting. It's a bit cramped, so I do move things as I'm working. Here, this is my first grow light that I ever used, or started with. I think I got this from Amazon also, and it's a T5, very hot. Be careful, I've burned myself, I've burned the foliage of my plants, so. And it wasn't enough for what I wanted to do, so I've definitely gone with more. I have lights that are clamped. I also use these with plant lights in them. Since I do grow my garage, I need all of the light that I can get, because this is the only window I have in my garage / plant room. Also another plant light there. I do have a humidifier. Last year I used it, and then the humidity just got so intense that I ended up with mold issues. On that note, it is very dry right now. Watering has been a little difficult to keep up with, but I would rather not have mold issues. And on that note, I also have a dehumidifier to help, because about March is when I really see an increase in the humidity. And then that will be running just to help keep that down. Just another area where I keep stuff. That's where I keep my potting mix, where I just put the boiling water in, and then I keep it covered for 30 minutes just to really help work through that. One grow light station like it. I do have a hot dog heater in my garage. It's hooked up to my gas, very safe. I didn't want all kinds of space heaters going, because my garage is kept at 65. I've lowered it. There's a fan in back to help circulate. Really like that. So I have 4 grow light setups. This one here, and then that one, this one, and I'm gonna do this real quick because it's still a bit of a mess. So as I need the shelves and the lights, I'll be moving stuff and going through stuff. Still kind of getting it organized. Potting mixes, this is spent. I'll be putting that in my garden beds when I can. The lights I use are I got these from Walmart, and they're LED lights, I think 5,000 kelvins daylight, and they're really good. And I'm gonna stick with these because I think it's $15 or $16 for one. So to me, that's pretty doable. The stand I also got at Walmart. And over here, the bottom level is always a little bit cooler, so this is where I'm keeping some seeds that needed a little bit cooler. the lights here in this one, and then I have, they are grow lights, and I think it was about $45 for one. So I'm still on the fence if I really see a difference in them versus the LED. So I'm gonna go back to just the LED. That way I can get 3 of those for the price of one of these grow lights. So also more trays kept up here. So as I need more, things will clear out. So hopefully by the next tour, things are a little bit cleaner, not quite so messy. And I do also the plant stand over to the left that I'm not gonna show a lot of. It's a mess. I got that one from Home Depot. The nice one about that one is it's on wheels. So when it comes time to hardening off my plants, I will put them on there and wheel it out my garage, which makes hardening off really easy. So I definitely like the wheels on them. I think I'm gonna look for another one. All right, so hopefully I covered everything with my plant room set up. So let's get looking at my plants. Nope, I didn't cover everything. So this right here, this plant stand, it's really nice because it's 4 feet long. The other ones are 4 feet long too, but this is, what is this, 24 inches wide. It can hold a tray completely the long way, whereas these are a little shallower. So I have heat mats set up on, so I have 2 big ones set up on these 2 shelves. So this is where I do a lot of my seed starting, and as they come up, then I move them off of the heat mats. So I just wanted to tell, I like heat mats, but just be careful because when your seedlings do come up, make sure to move them off. And some plants don't need that bottom heat, but some do. So some are a little bit trickier without it to get them to germinate. All right, let's look at my plants. Okay, so this is where I have my Topiary Coleus. This one is doing really good. You can see it's getting close to the lights. I can't move them up anymore. Have to be careful because it will burn the foliage, but I'm hoping it can just hold off just a little bit. Then I can take cuttings because it's just such a beautiful Coleus. And I want to keep it trimmed up because I think it's just getting to be so big that this is leaning a little bit. So I have to be careful. I don't want that busting. I might have to pot it up because it's been in here for quite some time. And this one is doing pretty good. Lots of beautiful growth on top, which, I mean, it's by the grow light, so understandable. And this is a little weaker. So I kind of have this light here positioned towards this, so hopefully that helps a little bit. But not too bad. And I also have some house plants in here. That is for my sister, so I'm trying to get that to work. They're not my favorite. Okay, on this shelf, I'm just going to switch hands here. And this, I use a lot of containers that I get food in. I just use what I can. I was running out of seed starting trays, and this is how I do a lot of my stuff. And here is just columbine, and this does not need bottom heat, and that said it on the package. It hasn't come up yet. I just did this one. What was it? If I can read my... Here. Oh, there we go. February 2nd. So... up here, I use whatever I can to bump up my tray so they're closer to the lights. This tray has Hosta. There's just 3 that came up, and it's the first for me growing this. So I like to try new things. Very happy with it, and I don't know what I'm going to get. It was just a hybrid's Hosta. Kind of looking a little foggy under there. Here is Dalmatian Rose. Foxglove, pretty good germination. At some point I'm going to have to pot these up. I have a little right in here, so not too bad. Alchemilla mollis, I just sowed this, so I think I have 3 teeny tiny little seedlings in there. And over here, I just potted up my comfrey 2 or 3 days ago. So they're definitely looking really good. I went to some bigger containers because they're a little aggressive. My planting season is mid-May, so I'm hoping I can maybe get these out a little bit sooner. I still have to harden off all of these plants. But you can definitely see this is a good grower. And I'm just growing comfrey to use as a fertilizer for my plants. That's new for me. We'll see how I like that. Over here, again, I have more yellow sticky tape. I'm not seeing any fungus gnats on here, which is really good. This is Korean featherweed grass, and it looks fantastic. And I'm not going to thin them. The package says not to. Normally when I do grasses, I will prick out a blade of grass and pot it up in its own container. But this, I'm just going to leave it, see what happens. So far all of the plants that I've talked about are perennials. This is a little tender. This says zone 5. I'm 4B, so we'll see how that works. I do have it planted in my garden and it has come back for me. So there's that. Again, perennials here. And then I'm just going to scoot down here real quick. And down here, I have some delphiniums that I just started. I had them in a wet paper towel in the fridge for about 2 weeks. And then now I put them over here. I put them in a big tray. I had quite a bit. And it says it needs darkness to germinate. So this is what I did. And it's cooler on the bottom. And it says that it needs, the packet said 55. So we'll see. I have had luck getting the delphiniums to germinate with winter sowing. So if this doesn't work out, definitely going the winter sowing route with that. All right, I will finish up with my perennials. So one moment. Okay, so over here, these are Coral Bells hybrids. Again, I don't know what I'm going to get for colors. Not the best germination, but I will take what I can when it comes to Coral Bells or Heuchera. I garden in a lot of shade, so I definitely like those. Again, more yellow stick, and I'm not seeing any fungus gnats on these, so very happy. And here I did Canterbury Bells. Looking pretty good. In here, this big tray, I have 3 different types of hollyhocks. So I have Black Knight. Germination was on that so far. You can see the Creme de Cassis. Very good. Looks awesome. And then the Radiant Rose. I only got 2. So it's not like I need all of these plants, but you know, when I pot them up, I usually like to have a little bit more when I pot up, just in case if there's some casualties. And then back here on the left-hand side, I have Braveheart Zebra Hollyhock, which really great germination. And then the Halo Apricot Hollyhock. Not too bad. Could be better. Over here, I don't think you're going to be able to see anything. I did a butterfly bush. Again, it says zone 5, but I thought it would be fun to try. So if you can see that little green in there, those are itty bitty little seedlings. So they just came up yesterday, so very happy. Because it says germination can be 1 to 5 weeks on this. So that'll be interesting with that. And then, so those are all perennials. I'm just going to go over here real quick. These are annuals. And is it Frizzle, Sizzle, Pansies? So I started this 121. It did take them at least 7 days to germinate. So you can see great germination on that. This is the burgundy. And this one is the lemon berry. And that's the raspberry. So you can definitely see really nice. Okay, I'm stuck to the sticky tape. There we go. That's the only problem. Either I'm getting stuck in it too or my hair. So yeah, these are all annuals. So I got started a little bit early in these. So I'm hoping that when I pot these up, pansies kind of live up to their name. They buck about a lot of stuff. The potting up and the everything. So, but I can't wait. And I'm going to probably do all of them just because I want a good amount. So very, very happy with those. All right, down here, I'm just gonna shift just a little bit. I'm sitting now. So in here, I guess it would help if it's an obedient plant, and just, it's rose crown, and they look really good. And I know it's a spreader, and I'm okay with that. I grow a lot of aggressive varieties in my gardens. It helps take up a lot of soil, which I don't like a whole lot of bare ground if I can help it. Can you believe this is Clematis? I am gonna have to pot that up. If I can do this without tipping, can you see the roots? They should have been potted up a while ago, probably about at least 2 weeks, because I think that's going to be super fun to try and get them apart. Look at that. I'm just trying to figure out how to get it to twine on something. I might just use skewers for the time being. This one is, I think, Crystal Peak Obedient Plant. This one I had really good germination on, but look how they look. I think these are ready to be potted up too. And in here, they're slow growers, so not much to look at. I think I can see some coloring of the leaves on 1 or 2, but Melting Fires, Coral Bells, they're just kind of slow. The next one here, these are a little bit more vigorous, the Palace Purple Heuchera. So you can see there's a little color coming there, and as they get bigger, there will definitely be a lot more. And then this is just a hybrids, and I don't know what I'm going to get with this. So they're a bit bigger too. Next up, we have Lupins. So I have an entire tray of Lupins, and I don't need that many, but I like to pot up a good amount. Just like I said, sometimes there's casualties. But look at that. Isn't that amazing? And I know I'm going to have to bump these up into bigger containers at that, I would say, probably the end of February. But then I can pick and choose which ones I want to keep. They're looking really good, and I have started fertilizing too. So, and then over here, I'm trying to reach. I'm stuck to it. And these are my first batch of hollyhocks that I started. Aren't they amazing? Look at that. And like I said, just going to try and turn it over without the vermiculite going all over the place. But look at the roots. So these are ready to be potted up for sure. And then this is another Foxglove here. It is a Dalmatian peach. Very good germination. A little bit yet with potting up. They're a little tiny. And then back here I have German Status. So really good. That says it's a perennial, and that you can actually dry the flowers, and which will be kind of cool. So that's kind of what I want to use it for. We'll see if it works out. I'll put the sticky tape in later. All right, let's check out my Coleus Cuttings. Okay, so my Coleus Cuttings, I'm right-handed, I'm just shifting. Sorry that it's a little wobbly. So I think about a month ago, I potted these all up into bigger containers. They weren't looking fantastic, they were okay, but I also put in a slow release fertilizer too, and I was just hoping that they were, well, where they're at right now, and I would say they're growing really nicely. The biggest thing I have now is because there's so much foliage that they kind of start shading the bottom out. So, and then they start bending and going wonky. So that's my only issue, but it's okay. I just need these to last until I take more cuttings. And this one's a really strong plant here, so can get a bunch off of that. But you can definitely see by potting them up and adding that slow release, they're definitely getting a big. More back there. And this one here, I just pulled from this container back there, because this one I'm finding it very difficult to get the cuttings to work, to root. So I'm hoping at some point they'll start throwing off all, I mean, it's nice, but more like bigger shoots so I can try cuttings again. But yeah, so I did pull this one and trying to save it. Wasn't much of a root system, but I'm really trying to get this to work. My aunt loves this Coleus. So this is the one here. It was pretty piddly when I potted it up. I was hoping that variegation would come, and it did. So very happy with this one. And more back there. And then this is a gorgeous one. I mean, this plant right here would probably give me enough cuttings. So I have a lot of sticky tape over here because I can definitely see more fungus gnats in this area, and I've been using the mosquito bits mainly in here. I haven't been using it for my seed starting just because I'm not sure how germination would work with that. You can definitely see here too, there's a few more, so I'm just keeping my eye on that. I might have to reapply the mosquito bits to it. Here, this is my Tradescantia. I have 15 little containers in here and it's doing great. I'm thinking I might start that Tradescantia container here pretty soon. And over here, again, just more looking good. I'm just very happy. So yeah, so those are how my Coleus cuttings are doing, and just absolutely fantastic. And on that note, most of my grow lights stay on for about 14 to 16 hours. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and bye for now.